Hello students, today we are going to start with the first chapter of our science books, that is Nutrition in Plants. Before we study a chapter, we must understand the name of the chapter. Nutrition in Plants. What does the term nutrition means? The process of taking food by organism as well as utilizing this food by the organism is called nutrition. All the living organisms around us, be it plants or animals, require food. Why do organisms require food? Organisms need food for energy and for growth. Even they require food for the repair of the damaged parts. Plants can make their own food, but animals, even including human beings, cannot make their own food. They obtain food from plants or other animals that eat plants. Thus, we can say all the animals, including human beings, depend on plants for their food, be it directly or indirectly. What are the two modes of nutrition? The two modes of nutrition are autotrophic and heterotrophic. What does the mode of nutrition, the term, suggest? The methods of obtaining food are called modes of nutrition. On the basis of their mode of nutrition, all the organisms can be divided into two main categories. Autotrophs, having autotrophic mode of nutrition, and heterotrophs, having heterotrophic mode of nutrition. We will now discuss both these modes of nutrition in detail one by one. Let us first start with autotrophs. Autotrophs, these organisms make their own food from simple inorganic substances by the process of photosynthesis. Their mode of nutrition is called autotrophic. Those organisms which can make food themselves from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water by the process of photosynthesis are called autotrophs, and their mode of nutrition is called autotrophic. All the green plants are autotrophs. This is because green plants can make their own food from carbon dioxide, water present in surrounding by the process of photosynthesis. Thus, we can say green plants have autotrophic mode of nutrition. For example, wheat is a plant which can make its own food, and thus it falls under the category of autotrophs. Autotrophs contain a green pigment called chlorophyll, which helps them make food by absorbing energy from sunlight. Most of the plants are green and have the capacity and the capability to make their own food. This means that most of the plants have autotrophic mode of nutrition. Our body cannot make food from carbon dioxide and water present around us by the process of photosynthesis. This is because our body does not have the green color pigment called chlorophyll, which the plants have. Thus, the question arises, why can't humans prepare their own food? The answer to this question is because our body does not have the green color pigment called chlorophyll that the green plants have, which is necessary to absorb energy from sunlight required for making food by photosynthesis. Moving on to the second mode of nutrition, that is heterotrophic. mode of nutrition, or the heterotrophs. Heterotrophs are those organisms which cannot make their own food from simple substances by the process of photosynthesis, and thus they take food from other plants or animals. All the non-green plants along with the animals fall under the category of heterotrophs. The non-green plants do not have chlorophyll for carrying out the process of food making called photosynthesis. So, they have to depend on other organisms, plants or animals for obtaining their food. The non-green plant called fungi such as mushroom, yeast and bread molds are heterotrophs. They have heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Certain bacteria are also heterotrophs. All the animals, including human beings, are categorized as heterotrophs because they cannot make their own food. They depend on plants or other animals for obtaining their food. Thus, all the animals like cat, dog, goat, cow, buffalo, deer, lion, tiger and human beings are heterotrophs, having heterotrophic mode of nutrition. Photosynthesis. Green plants are autotrophs and synthesize their own food by the process of photosynthesis. The green plants make their food from simple inorganic substances like carbon dioxide and water in the presence of sunlight. The plants use the energy in sunlight to prepare food in the presence of green color matter called chlorophyll, which is present in the leaves of green plants. Thus, the process by which green plants make their own food from carbon dioxide and water by using sunlight energy in the presence of chlorophyll is called photosynthesis. We can now define photosynthesis and represent it by a word equation as follows. Carbon dioxide from air, water from soil, sunlight from sun, chlorophyll present in the leaves form glucose, that is a form of sugar, along with oxygen. Oxygen gas is produced during photosynthesis as a product. Thus, this oxygen goes into the air. This oxygen gas released in process of photosynthesis is utilized by all living organisms for their survival. The process of photosynthesis is an essential process which takes place only in the daytime, as sunlight is not available in night. The process of photosynthesis first produces a simple carbohydrate called glucose as food. The glucose carbohydrate then gets divided and gets converted into a complex carbohydrate called starch. This starch gets stored as food in various parts of plant, including leaves. In fact, the presence of starch in the leaves of a plant shows the occurrence of photosynthesis. Some of the glucose is also converted into other types of plant foods such as fats, oils, proteins as well as vitamins. The synthesis of food occurs in the leaves of a plant or a tree. So, the leaves are the food factories of a plant. This can form a question. Why are leaves known as the food factories of a plant? The answer to this question will be because they contain the green color pigment called chlorophyll, which is necessary for making food. The leaves of a plant can synthesize food. Thus, they can not only synthesize but also store food. So, we call leaves the food factories of a plant. Usually, other parts of the plant cannot synthesize food because they do not contain chlorophyll. Thus, we can now say the necessary conditions for photosynthesis are presence of carbon dioxide, presence of water, presence of chlorophyll, along with presence of sunlight. That's all for today's lecture. If you have any doubt till here, do message us. We'll cover your doubts in the next video. Thank you.